CBSE Grade 10 English Supplementary Reader Summary of Lesson 1 A Triumph of Surgery. Tricky's illness. The narrator of the story is Mr. Harriet. He is a veterinary surgeon. He was really worried about the dog. Its name was Tricky. He was shocked to see it with his mistress. It had become hugely fat. Its eyes had become red. Its tongue came out from its jaws. It was in a state of disease. Tricky's mistress made Tricky ill. The mistress of the dog was Mrs. Pumphrey. She told Mr. Harriet that the dog seemed to have no energy, so she gave it more malt and cod liver oil and a bowl of Horlicks. She also gave it some cream cakes and chocolates despite Harriet's refusal. It was a rich diet. Harriet's warning to Mr. Pumphrey. Harriet looked at the dog again. Its big trouble was that it had become greedy. It did not refuse the food. Harriet asked Mr. Pumphrey if she had been giving the dog plenty of exercise. She said she had not. Harriet warned her if she did not cut its food and gave it more exercise, physical exercise, it would be really ill. She said that he was right, but it was difficult for her, Tricky, to be in hospital. Within next few days, Mrs. Pumphrey told Harriet that Tricky didn't eat anything at all. It refused to eat even its favorite dishes. It spent all its time lying panting. The narrator had made these plans in advance. He suggested that Tricky should be hospitalized for about a fortnight, 14 days. The lady almost became unconscious. She was sure that it would die if he did not see it. Tricky in hospital. The narrator took the dog in his car. Mrs. Pumphrey gave Tricky's belongings like bed, cushion, toys, various bowls, coats, etc. At the hospital, Tricky looked down at other dogs. They sniffed around it and ignored it. Tricky's treatment. The narrator kept an eye on Tricky for 2 days. He gave it plenty of water but no food. On the third day, it started whimpering on seeing other dogs. It followed them down the garden. Later that day, other dogs had their food. When they had finished, Tricky walked round the bowls. He also licked them. It meant he was hungry. It was given some food. Tricky shows improvement. Tricky started to show progress. It was given no medicinal treatment. It ran about with the dogs all day. It discovered the joy of being with other dogs. Meanwhile, Mrs. Pumphrey continued ringing regularly to the doctor. She asked various questions about Tricky, but the doctor told her that the dog was out of danger. Mrs. Pumphrey started to bring round fish, fresh eggs to build up Tricky's strength. The narrator began giving Tricky wine before and during the meal. The dog began to drink brandy also. Tricky now had 1 extra egg in the morning. It had wine at noon and brandy in the evening. After a fortnight, the narrator rang her up and saying, the dog was all right. Mrs. Pumphrey arrived at the narrator's surgery in a big car. She asked him if the dog was better. The narrator told her that the dog was fine. He would bring it to her. When Tricky saw its mistress, it ran into Mrs. Pumphrey's lap. It began licking her face and barking. Tricky's cure and a triumph of surgery. The narrator helped the driver to bring out Tricky's various things. These were Tricky's beds, toys, cushions, coats and bowls. They had not been used. As the car moved away, Mrs. Pumphrey leaned out of the window. Tears shone in her eyes. Her lips trembled. She told the narrator that it was a triumph of surgery But actually, the doctor did not do anything at all. What all he did was he cut down all the extra meals which was given to the dog. Crossfire.